The story commences with Gautam Buddha returning to Kapilavastu before commencing the journey of enlightenment, as Siddhartha Gautama promised himself to visit his wife and son. After getting the truth, he decided to visit his place with his disciples. When King came to know about Buddha and get notified about his living near the village and surviving by begging in his kingdom, he felt very angry. When he met Buddha, he helped him in calming down his anger. He then met his wife and son, Rahula. Later, Rahula, who was 7 years old, was ordained by the Buddha and became the first novice in the Buddhist tradition. A novice is someone who is in training but has not yet taken the full vows of a monk or nun. Besides Rahula, the Buddha also converted his stepbrother Nanda and several princes of the Sakya clan. Among them were his cousins Ananda and Devadatta. Prajapati Gautami became the first Buddhist nun. One morning, to have a last look at the city of Vesali, the Buddha and Ananda went there to beg for alms. After that, the Buddha and his disciples visited neighboring villages, and the Buddha taught the Buddha to people. The Buddha also told his disciples that when anyone teaches them the Buddha, they should carefully verify it against the Dharma taught by the Buddha. He said that if it was not consistent with his teaching, they should reject it. This is the saddest part of the Buddha story, as he had set on his final journey. Then they continued to the city of Pava and rested in the mango garden, which belonged to Kunda, the son of a goldsmith. The Buddha taught Kunda and his family. They gained confidence in the Dharma and took refuge in the Buddha and the Dharma. But the meal that Kunda offered to the Buddha contained a fungus that made the Buddha feel very ill. However, in spite of the pain, the Buddha and his disciples continued their journey to Kusinara. The Buddha and his disciple, Ananda, arrived at the boundaries of Kusinara. When they came to Salavana, the Buddha felt he could go no further. So he asked Ananda to prepare a place for him to lie down. Ananda took the Buddha's outer robe and placed it on a bed between two big sala trees. The Buddha then lay down on his right side. He did not fall asleep, but rested to relieve his pain and fatigue. His mind remained as tranquil as it had ever been. Later, the Buddha gave the monks and nuns the last chance to ask any questions. He asked them if any of them still had doubts about the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, but none of them had any doubts about the triple gem. Finally, the Buddha said to the monks, "Monks, this is the last time for me to talk to you. All things change. Work hard to gain your own salvation." The Buddha then entered into meditation, deeper and deeper, until his mind was purely balanced and steadily focused, and then he passed away. Thus, the Buddha, the Blessed One, had attained that final freedom known as nirvana. Soon after the death of the Buddha, a meeting of 500 arahants was held to collect together all his teachings. They were memorized and handed down from one generation of monks to the next. In this way, the teachings of the Buddha were never lost, and we can learn many lessons from these valuable teachings of Gautam Buddha.